And then we'll just begin, as always, by centering ourselves. So finding a comfortable seat. And if your seat is not comfortable, you know the invite is to go ahead and come down to your back body. If you're seated, you want to make sure that the core it's engaged, belly button and solar plexus tucked in. But while it's engaged, there's also just a bit of softness in there. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Couple times, get them to go back and down. Most of our shoulders creep up and forward, just where we seem to hold a lot of our stress. And if you feel as though closing your eyes is appropriate this morning, go ahead and gentle those eyes closed. And then very purposefully relax your forehead and soften the cheeks, the jaw. And let that sensation of softness, let it move down through your neck, down into your shoulders, down into your arms, softness through your torso, and let it just move all the way down to the hips, down and out your legs. Just softening that whole body this morning. As we come together to share this practice, we do a check-in with ourselves. So just take inventory, your opportunity to notice what's going on within you this morning. And you could notice physical body. You could notice emotional body. And check in with the energetic body, the spirit. Just noticing how you're doing this morning. And very intentionally setting anything else that's in your headspace. Maybe it's things to do, or maybe you're thinking about family members or friends, whatever it is. If you'd like, I'd invite you to just kind of box that up and set it aside for now, trusting that it's going to be there in the next hour. But that for this hour, it's just you on your mat, paying attention to the way you experience sensation, whether that is physical or emotional. If you've not yet connected with breath, just notice breath. No need to alter it or control it. With our next inhale, we'll bring the palms together, tuck the thumbs in right at the heart. Perhaps the chin bows towards the chest. Of course, this moment to set an intention if you wish. And a lot of the times our intention is just very simple, just to be present for the hour, or it could be to really pay attention to the body and only do what you know serves you well for the hour. It might be to just do your practice and notice any time you start to criticize yourself. And in noticing, it's almost like you pause, almost like you end up resisting that tendency. Whatever you want your intention to be this morning, set that intention. And then bring the thumbs to the eyebrows, that space right between the eyebrows. And bring the thumbs back to the heart. We'll begin this morning by bringing the hands and the arms down and out beside us, the palms facing forward. Roll the shoulders back, try to open the collarbone a little bit. Exhale, let your breath all the way out. With an inhale, we're going to lift the arms up and open the throat a little bit. Exhale, our arms float down and the chin can tuck down. Inhaling to lift the arms and open the throat. Exhale, float your arms down, tuck your chin down. Inhaling, you lift. And exhaling, you lower. You're going to keep moving with your own breath. If you want to move faster, just breathe faster. If you want to move slower, breathe slower. Next time our arms are up, we're going to leave them up. Our exhale will drop the arm bones down in the shoulder sockets. Again, inhale. With your exhale, your right arm is going to come towards the earth and you're going to bend to the right. Inhaling, everything comes to the middle and up. Exhale, left arm down, you'll bend to the left. Inhaling, middle. Exhaling, right. And side to side, your own pace. Next time you're up, let the exhale bring both arms down and relax the shoulders. Maybe roll them up towards the ears a couple of times, roll them back, roll them down. Good. Hands on our knees then. Let's take our torso to the right, in between our legs, to the left, back, and around to the right. And so you're just going to circle your torso just so that we're kind of playing with a sensation of sitting for so long. Sitting's really hard on almost everybody's body. And so we're just kind of stretching, activating that lower back, across the back of our hips. Good, next time you're coming through center, pause. If your legs are crossed, let's bring our back one to the front one to the back. And find again just your seat. Your core is engaged enough that it is in fact holding you up, but there's still some softness. Arms out beside us, palms forward. We're gonna inhale, let our arms come up, then twist your shoulders towards the right. Allow the arms to sink down. Inhaling, your arms come up, you come back to the center. Your exhale takes you to the left, arms floating down. Inhaling up into the center. Exhaling, twist down to the right. Inhale up into the center. Exhale, twisting down to the left. From side to side, just a couple more times. Next time your arms are in the middle, let them be up. Relax those shoulders down, take a breath in, and then exhale, arms float down. Roll the shoulders up and back and down. Hands on our knees. Our torso now is going to the left, between the legs, to the right, back and around. And just circling that torso. At this time when you're between the legs and forward, pause. Bring your hands down and out in front of you a little bit so that you can gently push through the arms, like you're gonna push your butt back into the ground a bit more. And see if your heart can sink. So it would essentially mean that you're hinging just a little bit deeper. Your awareness will go to your hips, that spot right between the hips actually. And allow that to soften. Almost like you're imagining everything relaxing in the hip area. Aware of breath. Good, just a couple more breaths. With an inhale, you're gonna walk the torso up. We need to switch our legs again. So front one to back one to front. And we're gonna take one more hinge forward. So when you're ready, make sure your sits bones are connected, your core is engaged. It's your hips that hinge forward, your hands down. And it's as though you're gripping your mat or the ground and you're using your arms to gently push your butt back into the earth. And then very purposefully trying to soften the hips, even soften the pelvic floor. Aware of breath. Good, one more breath. Your next inhale is gonna unhinge your hips, walk you up. Your feet are gonna kick to the side so you can roll around, and let's meet on all fours. And once you're on all fours, whichever leg you want, you're just gonna step it back so you can open that hip up. Toes on the ground, you'll push the heel back. Take some breaths. You could let the heel kind of rotate in and rotate out if you want the thigh bone to be moving around in the hip socket. But again, you're just kind of releasing from sitting. Sitting is so hard. When you've had enough on one leg, you'll move it to the other. Nice. Meeting then just on all fours. Your knees right under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. If wrists are tender, they're forward a little from your shoulders. Your core is engaged as always. Crown of the head reaching forward. Roll your shoulders back so your neck is long. Like get them away from your ears. Take a breath in. With your exhale, tailbone tucks, chin tucks, and your back arches towards the ceiling. Inhaling, tailbone lifts. Throat collarbone opens. It's your cow. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, find your cat. Inhaling forward for your cow. Back and forth, your breath is initiating your movement. And always, if you want to move faster, you breathe faster. Maybe you choose to pause one place or another and just hold it, breathing. It's really allowing that spine to move. It's flexion and extension. When you're in cow, that's extension. When you're in cat, it's flexion. Next time you come back through center, you're gonna pause. Move your knees apart a bit so you can slide that butt back towards child's pose. And either stack the fists or the forearms, whatever you need, so that your forehead can have a resting place. And in that resting place, allow the shoulders to relax. Imagine that your back body, it softens. Like all those muscles back there just get to release. For whatever reason, I like to imagine that they just kind of sink down the sides of my torso. If your hips are tender, let the weight shift a little from side to side in your hips. Almost like you're curious, wondering what that's all about. And of course, if it's not just sensation, if it's pain, your job, is to get on out of there. Good, we're gonna do 2 more breaths. If you wrapped your arms around your legs, you're gonna bring them forward. With an inhale, all of us will come back up to tabletop. Good, I hope that you remembered if knees are tender, you can put a blanket under the knees, like cushion those babies. All right, so we're gonna bring our right arm up and out to the side. We're just gonna thread the needle. We're not gonna do the breath and open. So take a breath in. With your exhale, weave it behind your left hand. Bring your right hand or your right shoulder to the ground, right ear to the ground. And your left hand can stay put, or you can lengthen it out a little. Some people like to weave it around their back body. But you're just finding your version here of thread the needle. Quite a stretch for the shoulders for most of us. Aware of breath. Aware of sensation, physical, emotional. Very often in our practice, we even think that our cognition, we allow that to be just a sensation. Next inhale, everything engages so you can lift up, unweave, stretch that arm out to the side, and then drop the hand down so it's under the shoulder. And inhale, we'll bring left arm up and out. Use your exhale, weave the left behind the right, left shoulder, left ear to the earth. Whatever you want to do with that right arm. Connect with breath and observe sensation. Nice. Take one more breath. Everything engages, and your inhale lifts you up and weaves that arm, stretches it out. Your exhale plants both hands now on the ground. Let's step forward with our hands a little bit so we can roll over the knees, get our hips nice and open. Your exhale will push your butt back, hinge your hips, close them all the way up. Inhaling, come forward, open those hips up. Exhale, push them back, close them. Back and forth, guided by breath. If you let your hips sink towards the earth, really ensure that the core is engaged. Just because it'll mean that your lower vertebrae they're like sliding together, they're compressing, and it'd be a part of a back bend actually. Good, do 2 more breaths. When we meet, we're gonna meet back and we're just gonna take a child's pose. So you'll relax into that, but towards the heels. Maybe you rock a little side to side if the hips are talking to you. Your arms can either stay straight out in front of you or you can wrap them around your legs. It doesn't matter at all. Good, do 1 more breath. If arms are wrapped around legs, you're pulling them forward. Using an inhale, let's come to tabletop, get our knees under our hips. You're setting up for your down dog, whether that's high or low. If you're staying low, your hands step forward. Your ears come down between your upper arms and you push those hips back so they stay right over top of the knees. And you've got that length to the back body. If you're coming high, your hands are under your shoulders, your toes tuck, your knees and your hips go up and back, ears still right between those upper arms. Our knees usually bend at least at first, even pedaling our feet. But we want that same length to the back body that we would have if we were on our hands and knees. So big breaths here. Observing sensation. Maybe shaking the head a little, shake it yes, shake it no, let it just be hanging there. Good, we're gonna either walk our hands back or walk our feet forward. Your knees will stay bent and you'll meet in forward fold with the knees bent. Bent enough that your belly is literally like resting on your thighs, the chin tucks in, the shoulders relax. And if you're gonna straighten your legs, you're gonna ensure that the belly stays connected to those thighs. And the reason for that is just to avoid like over pulling on the hamstrings. So you find your just right place and then bring awareness to breath. Observe sensation. Very mindfully down here, you're going to rock the weight front to back in your feet, a little side to side, maybe even circling it a bit, just playing with the foundation that your feet provide. Maybe you can even bring your hands to your feet and just give them a little hug, a little squeeze. Grateful for our feet this morning that take us, that carry us. With your next inhale, slide yourself halfway up, create your flat back. Roll those shoulders back, away from the ears, reach way forward with the crown of the head, pull the belly in. Take another breath in, and then exhale, hinge back over. Bend the knees and bend them quite a lot. Ensure that your core is engaged. Use an inhale, roll your torso up. And it's like you're coming up vertebra by vertebra till you're all the way up. When you're up, the shoulders will roll back and down. The head will be up. And we meet in our mountain pose. So feet right under our hips. Four corners of your feet, probably you can still feel from like rocking and circling the weight. But lengthen the whole body. Like imagine you're just getting super tall. And close your eyes. Your core is engaged. Belly button, solar plexus. And if you feel like your ribs are like poking out in front, just tuck them back in. And nice, grounded to the earth. Keeping your eyes closed, let's see what happens if we just shift our weight into our right foot and come to the toes of the left. And this is super scary with your eyes closed. If you really aren't safe doing this, I hope you're opening your eyes. But with our eyes closed, we just recognize how important our sight is. That sensation of sight. Good, maybe you can pull those toes all the way up and make yourself balance a little. You'll probably be really shaky, and that's okay. Good, your foot will plant right under your hip. You're gonna switch your sides, weight into that left leg, toes of the right. And you're feeling even that little bit of fear that happens. Observing it, not judging it, just observe. Good, both feet will come to the ground. If you're not forward on your mat, let's come forward. We're gonna do some sun salutations, and let's do 2 A's and 2 C's. If you're not wanting to do the on the ground up and down, you're gonna do the half salutation. And so your half sun salutation is just where you go up, you go down, you bend, and you go back down. I'll lead you through one of them as we do the sun salutation A. So you're at the top of your mat. Your feet are grounded. Your shoulders back, your belly in. All of us are going to take an inhale and lift the arms, lengthen into high mountain. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge the hips, your forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, it's a flat back. Exhale, fold. Those of you that are doing to the ground, you're gonna step your feet back and meet in plank. If we're doing half, we're coming upright, arms to the top. Everybody take a breath in. Exhale, some of you will lower to the earth. Some of you will bend to the right. Your inhale is gonna take you to cobra or bring you back to center. Exhaling back to down dog or to the left. Inhaling, our feet come forward or we're upright. Exhaling, we meet in forward fold, chin tucked in. Inhale, halfway is a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees a ton, arms out like giant wings. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands come down to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, your feet are back or you're coming all the way up if it's half sun salutation. Exhale, we lower to the earth or bend to the right. Inhaling, cobra, come back to the middle. Exhaling, down dog, bend to the left. Inhaling, our feet come forward or we come upright. Exhaling, you're all the way down, all of us in forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okie doke. Moving to sun salutation C then, that's the one with the low lunges. You're gonna inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot is back. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, torso up. Exhale, torso down. Inhale, front foot back. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, back knee to the earth. Inhale, torso up. Exhale, torso down. Good job. Your back foot comes forward. And we need it forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, one more time. I'm going to be doing the half sun salutation, but I'm talking sun salutation C. So inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Drop the knee. Torso up. Torso down. Front foot back. Lower to the earth. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot forward. Drop the knee. Torso up. Torso down. Back foot forward. You're at forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice job. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so feet under our hips. Our bodies ought to be pretty warm. Sun salutation's warm. Obviously, they warm everything. In our mountain pose, I think you're at the top of the mat. We're gonna step back with our left foot. And let's step back quite a ways. This way. And step back so you can come to warrior two. And so you're gonna pay attention to that knee. If that knee is tricky, you might not bend it hardly, like just a little tiny micro bend even, just to keep it steady. If your knee feels safe, you definitely can sink in. And really, if the knee is really not stable, you might not do this at all. You might just stay in mountain pose or do a half sun salutation, do forward fold. But we want to sink in and get the inner thighs. Yeah, arms can be up if you want them up. Nice call. And let's go ahead and turn the palms up and feel how that like rolls the arm bones back in the shoulder socket. And take a couple big breaths. If you can keep those shoulders back with the palms down, you'll go ahead and roll the palms back down. And for me, I watch the eyes of my elbows. The eyes of my elbows stay up. Nice. Let's straighten the front knee then. Hinge at that hip. Bring it down, and you're just finding triangle. And I say just, I don't mean just. Triangle is tricky. It's balancing. It's all kind of stretching. Your top arm might be on your hip. Your bottom arm might be on your shin. It might be clear down towards the ground. Some people grab their big toe. Good. Next inhale, your torso is going to bring you up. Your front leg, then pick those toes up, spin the leg bone and the hip socket so both of our legs our toes are pointing the same way. And we're going for a wide-legged forward fold, which knees, I think the knees are fairly safe here. You might try it, but make sure that nothing is compromised. So it's a hinge at our hips. You're coming all the way down. Once you're down, those hands can just drop under the shoulders. And I like to tuck my chin here. You might try it, see what it feels like, but ensure that the belly stays engaged, even with the chin tucked. Observe sensation as you notice breath. With an inhale, we're going to come halfway up. So fingertips, it's like you're making your torso parallel with the earth. Your knees are going to bend just a bit so you can bring your hands to your hips and hinge your hips to come up. Nice. Our other leg needs to turn, the toes point. So I think it's our left, probably our left knee is bent. And we're finding warrior two on this side. And so quite likely palms turn up. And that just helps you get those arm bones back in the hip socket. If you can keep that, then turn your palms back down. Keep the eyes of your elbows up. Pull the belly in and let that lunge work that front leg, work the back leg, but also it's lengthening all of your inner thigh. Good, we're moving to triangle, so front leg straightens. Reach forward even a little bit, hinge at that front hip. Your hand comes either to your shin, towards the floor. Top arm might be at the ceiling, it might stay down at your hip. Nice, and it's tricky to balance. Next inhale, you're bringing your torso up. Your bent knee, your leg is going to straighten. Pick those toes up, spin the leg bone. Hands to our hips. One more time, wide-legged forward fold. Nice. Once you're down there, tuck that chin if you wish. Hands under the shoulders. Couple big breaths. Belly is engaged. Maybe your tailbone lifts towards the ceiling. Just a tiny bit more. Next inhale, halfway up. Bend the knees a little. Hands to your hips. Torso is up. And feet can heel toe in. Even hop together. Nice. And then maybe shake the legs out a bit. Okie doke. So we'll plant feet underneath us. And let's just start by circling the hips. I don't care which way you circle. Notice though, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. Yeah, and you can like circle them little, you can circle them big. You're letting those leg bones move around in the hip sockets. Good, so it's clockwise or counter, make note, pause at the middle, and then let your torso swing. It's side to side, your core is engaged. And it's not swinging so much as it's twisting, like shoulders are twisting. If you want your hips to follow, certainly your hips can follow. Just make sure belly is engaged and lower back is okay with it. Good, back to the middle then. Hips need to circle opposite direction. Nice. One more circle. We'll pause in the middle. And since we're here, let's just speak to kind of our energetic body, even our lymph system with that tapping or slapping practice. So you still do mountain pose. You know that most of you kind of know this, and it's silly, but it feels really, really good. I start with my left hand slapping like the right side. And so you start at your collarbone, and it's not super hard, but it's fairly significant. You're just tapping across that collarbone, and then you're gonna start slapping down the arm. Slap up the arm, like even the back side of the arm. Switch hands, so switch sides. Across your collarbone, down the arm, up the arm, and then it's both hands across the collarbone, down the chest, down through your rib cage, all the way down through your belly, to your hips, down your thighs, and get the inside of your thighs as well as the top, sometimes the outside edges, all the way down through your shins. If you can get tops of your feet, great. Move the hands around. You're coming up the calf, up the thighs, up your butt, all the way up your back as high as you can go. And then fingertips, it's more tapping now. Back of your neck, back of your head, to the crown of your head. And then just a very gentle fingertips graze the face. Same thing again, down the right side first, front of the arm, and then up the back of it. You cross your collarbone, switch your hands, it's down that other arm, up the back of it. Both hands across the collarbone, the chest, down through your chest, your rib cage, all the way down through your hips, inside of your thighs, tops of your thighs, outside edges of your thighs, all the way down. And you're slapping pretty good. You're getting that blood moving up the back of your calves, back of your thighs, your butt, all the way up your back as far as you can reach. Then fingertips to the back of the neck, up the back of your head, and let them just slide down the face. Then drop your hands aside. You keep your eyes closed and breathe. And we're going to bend the knees a little bit. Hinge at the hips so you can find your forward fold. Chin is in, shoulders are soft. Aware of breath. One more time, we're going to come halfway up, create our flat back. And then fold. Bend the knees enough that you can plant the hands. A foot will step back so you can drop a knee. Other knee drops. Your feet move to the side so we can meet back on our butts. All right, so on our butts, let's come fairly far forward on our mats. We're gonna do just a little bit of core work. Let's start with feet, like feet out, hip distance apart, shoulders rolling back and down. We'll do just a little bit of boat. And so lots of variations in boat. Some of us are gonna lean back and just hold with the core, hold our torso up. And yes, your arms can stay hooked to your legs for extra support, but you're using the core as much as you can to hold yourself there. Others of you might let go of the legs and bring the arms out. Others yet, you might bring the feet up, maybe the legs straight, lots of different options, but based on your lower back mostly, you're gonna decide which serves you best. Feel your breath. Nice job. 2 more breaths. Bottom of that second breath, our feet come down, and your knees can even hold you up a little bit. Good. One more time. Find your version of boat. One no better than the other. Remember, this is a time too when we don't criticize body. If that starts, just notice it and come back gently to yourself, kindly to yourself. Nice job. Breath in. Breath out brings our feet to the earth. The knees hold us up. Let's let our knees fall out and open. Let the soles of our feet come together and use our shins as just a little lever, like the lever is gonna hold us up. And maybe your chest comes forward, so that would be like a hinge at your hips a little bit. Those knees dropping towards the earth. Feel breath. Notice sensation, the physical, emotional, cognition. Good. If you're hinged at all, come on up. You're going to use your hands to bring your knees together. And then we're moving to our back body. You can definitely use your hands, your arms to support you, or you can find your boat again and very slowly work your way down. So, however, we'll meet on the ground. Nice. Once you're on the ground, your knees are still bent. Roll your shoulders back. Let them connect with the earth, even wiggle. Make sure that they really, truly can relax. And then we're going to bring our hands underneath our hips, our palms down. And that's just going to lift your butt up a little. Your belly button now and your solar plexus, you're going to pull them in, and you know that engages your core. Once your core is engaged, both your knees are going to come in towards your chest. And some people might choose to say that this is enough for me today. This is working your core. If you keep pulling with your belly, those knees in, your core is getting its work. Others might straighten the legs up to the ceiling. If we chose to straighten legs to the ceiling, we're now going to move with breath. So we'll inhale. With our exhale, those legs will slowly move towards the earth. And if your knees are bent, you might just move your knees away from your body a little bit. Everything just hovers. And then the inhale pulls all of it back, knees in, or legs straight. Exhale, slowly bring them down, make them hover. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, float them down. Inhaling to lift. And we're going to keep going. It's our own breath. At any time we need to rest, the feet can meet the earth and you can soften the belly. But really imagine that that core is what's moving your legs, whether they're straight or bent. Your legs are not doing the work. Good. 2 more. When we meet, we are going to meet with the feet down, the knees bent, and tucking our hands and letting that earth support the lower back. Soften your belly. Release, relax your chest, your face. And heel to those feet out so they're wider than the hips. Your knees getting to fall towards each other in the middle. We're going to add a bit of rocking like this, which also will help us with the hips, the IT band. You'll bring your right knee, your feet stay on the ground, but your right knee lifts up towards the middle so that there's room for you to push that left knee down towards the middle of your mat. Then you bring the left one up so that the right one can push down towards the middle of your mat. Right one is up, left one pushes down towards the middle. And again, side to side, your pace. More than welcome to pause anywhere along the way and just breathe. We'll do one more time on each side. Meeting with both our knees dropping towards the middle. Imagining that you can soften those hips, soften the pelvic floor. Good, feet will come together then. Knees in towards the torso, so you can grab hold of the knees, hug them in, rock a little side to side, or circle the knees. If you circle knees, so make sure you circle both ways. Very last thing that we'll do is a little bit more hip release, letting the knees windshield wiper and kind of flow from side to side. But to protect our lower back, we're going to let our top knee always be the leader. And so let's drop the feet. Make sure the shoulders are comfy, relaxed. I like to bring my arms out like a T just because that tells my shoulders more directly that it's cool to just totally chill. Both our knees then are going to drop to the right. And take a breath. Use your top knee. Your feet stay on the ground the whole time, but your top knee comes towards the middle. It's dropping out and over to the left. Your legs are open just for a sec. Bottom knee catches and both knees land to the left. Where you take a breath. Top knee is your leader, moving towards the ceiling, dropping out to the right. Your bottom leg will catch and both knees will land at the right for a breath. Top knee is your leader. It's dropping to the left, legs open, bottom leg catches. They're both to the left for a breath. Top knee, let it be your leader. Bottom leg catches. You're to the right. And you're going to go from side to side. You can speed it up if you want to. Just stay real connected with the sensation across the back of the hips, the way the ground is pushing into those muscles. And as with everything else, if there's somewhere we want to pause, somewhere we just want to hang out, totally do it. And we'll take 2 more breaths, doing whatever we're doing. Meeting with our knees in the middle. And it might be that you can just scooch your butt down towards your heels a little, get more of that lower back connected. Or you may need to pull the knees in towards the torso again, hands to the knees, and rock a little side to side. But we just want to make sure that as much of our lower back is on the ground as we can. And then our legs will stretch out. If you get your legs out and you find that the lower back isn't happy, you're going to bend those knees again. But if legs are straight, let the feet roll out and open. As they do, it'll rotate your thigh bones even in your hip sockets, kind of facilitating a release in your hips. Your shoulders wiggle, maybe shoulder blades even tuck, so you've got some cushion. Your chin could tuck a little, or even lift the head up, tuck the chin, then bring the head down. You're just getting yourself as comfortable as you can be in this corpse pose. And there's nothing to say that if as you rest, you become uncomfortable, there's no rules that say you can't adjust or you can't move. So when you've got your spot and your eyes are closed, and our last bit of time is spent here in what traditionally was the practice of yoga. A place where we purposely relax this body of ours. We relax it so much that it's perceived to be a corpse. And in that relaxed body, your yoga is that of the mind. And our intention is to learn to relax the mind like we relax the body. Lots of different ways that we can do that, just like lots of different ways that we find corpse. We sometimes do really gentle yoga, or we do yin, maybe we do vinyasa, but in the end, we land at the same place, which is here. This morning, the practice that we're going to use for the mind is just that of observing. cultivating our ability to notice when we start thinking. And thinking very often, it just feels automatic, like it just happens. You don't make it happen. There are times where we make it happen, but more often than not, it's just happening. And we might not even be aware of it. To begin this skill of noticing our thoughts, one of the easiest practices is just to first try to concentrate on the breath. And watch how long it takes before your concentration or your awareness is swept away and it's caught up in something entirely different. And when you catch it, it's like you'll reel it back in and hook it back to your breath. And before you know it, it'll be caught away and you'll reel it back in. Just practicing observing thoughts. As you work with this practice of noticing yourself begin to think, what you're doing is you're identifying your witness. It's the part of you that is not your thoughts. It's the part of you that's not your feelings. And it's certainly the part of you that's not the body. Your human consciousness is rather amazing. We can think or feel and observe ourselves at the same time thinking and feeling. Our awareness will move from this practice back into the body, as though you could run your awareness down your body all the way down through the legs to your feet. Once your awareness is in your feet, before you move or wiggle, see if you can just feel your toes. Like your big toes, your second toes, all your toes. That mind-body connection Then bring your awareness back up your body, down your arms, and see if you can just feel without moving. You can feel your fingers. You're imagining each finger individually. Yes, when you're ready, then your fingers and your toes will wiggle. And they'll move. Your ankles and your wrists could roll. Your head could move a bit side to side. If you need one last stretch, arms could go up alongside the ears to the ceiling and then drop to the floor alongside our ears. And maybe we reach through the fingers, we point through the toes, we get our body super long. And then we relax. The knees will bend. Your hips will shift one way or another so that your knees can fall. As they fall, the rest of your body just rolls over. Taking a couple breaths on your side. When you're ready to come up, your hands and your arms are going to push you up. And as always, we're just going to meet at a comfortable seat. Our eyes closed. Our palms coming together when we're ready. Thumbs tucked right at the heart, the chin out towards the chest. We start each practice with centering. We end each practice with reflecting. Just noticing how that was for you, how you feel. And preparing now to move back to our day. The last thing that we share is the term namaste, which means that observer, that witness we just practiced, that witness in me, it honors the witness in you. Namaste.